Hello guys, it's me, Frosty on call. Today I'm doing a surgery. It shouldn't be a long one. I'll try and keep it as short as possible, but I hope you enjoy. So once I get my angle right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the computer and then I'm going to select a patient for surgery. Pretty simple. I just click the sign in button. And then I just have a look through the people who need surgery. So we have 2 people who need surgery, Arthur and Emily. For this surgery, I'm going to pick Emily. And then I'll show you the entire process of how I begin and how I treat. So I've just cleaned my patient. So first I'm going to need to get a surgical scrub and then scrub in. And now I'm going to have to run into the OR that I'm using and just get my hands a quick dry. Then chuck that in the bin. And I gotta get dressed for surgery. So that includes a gown, a mask, and some gloves. And then we need a clean sheet from the cabinet. This did take me a while to find. I do apologize. So now I have the clean sheet. I've just applied that to the bed. So I've just got to wait for the patient to be brought in. And as you can see, you can catch a glimpse of my surgical nurse going past me. He's just getting ready to assist with the surgery. So I'm going to wait for him to get the patient ready. At some point, I will be told to turn on the surgical lights. So I'll be turning on the lights here. And then the standing light by here. And then I just got to wait until I'm ready for my next part. So as you can see, my surgical nurse has introduced himself, so I'll do the same. Okay, now I need a sedative from the closet. Okay, I have the sedative, so now I'm going to push that through the IV. This will just help relax the patient so they can fall asleep a lot easier. Okay, now I just need a saline flush just to finish that off. Okay, we have the saline flush, so we're gonna push that through the IV as well. And within a couple of seconds, my patient should fall asleep. So all I have to do now is just wait. Okay, so we need to wait for the surgical nurse just to intubate the patient. Okay, now I need to grab the Betadine ball, which was already in my inventory just to save time. And then I'm going to fill it with the Betadine bottle. Now I just need to go back to the cabinet then, just to get some sponge forceps. Okay, so I have the sponge forceps, so we're gonna need to soak that into the liquid. Then we can sanitize the skin. Okay, so now I'm going to make my first incision and then catheterize 3 blood spots. That's it, nicely done. I'm going to open the second layer and just do the same again. Catheterize 3 blood spots. Okay, now I've got to open the third layer and catheterize another 3 blood spots. Okay, good. Now I just need to clamp the base and then apply another clamp. Then what I'm going to do then is trace around the lines twice so I can remove the appendix. So now I just got to drag and drop and it should be in the little bottle. So now I've got to catheterize 2 blood spots just to finish that off. Perfect. Now my next task is just to go and get a mobile x-ray. Now this is a new addition to the surgery. I don't think I've ever had to do this before, so this is interesting. So I'm just going to extend out the arm and take the x-ray. Okay, x-ray is now taken. I can remove that and proceed to suture the skin. So I'll have to suture 3 layers. and then apply the bandage, and then she's ready to go to recovery. So guys, that's the first part of the surgery complete. Usually I would just leave it there, but just to make it more longer, I'm going to also do the aftercare in the PACU, just to make sure everything's gone well and there was no complications. So I've just removed the beta bean bowl. I do apologize, I can't pronounce it properly. This is due to my accent. So I've just turned off the lights, and I'll just go get rid of my scrubs and everything else. Okay. So I'm gonna have to grab the specimen bottle from the tray. And then we've only got to send that up the tube system so that it can be analysed and stored away. Also ignore the message above that says you've been disconnected from voice chat. My server was having a bit of an issue with voice. So I've just logged into the computer and I've just gained some pretty nice XP. So I've gained 41 XP from the initial surgery. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into PACU and just do the follow-up treatments just to make sure she's doing well. So here she is. That's the patient we had. So we're going to start by claiming her again. And then we've just got to start by attaching an oxygen mask just to help her breathe. And then take some vitals. So this will just only begin with temperature and heart rate. But we will have to do the vitals again later. Alright, that's the vitals done. I just need to check the computer. There will be a lot of checking the computer in this part because of how much we've got to monitor. So I'm just going to grab the EKG machine if I can remember where it is. Oh, it's just down the bottom. Around by my sofas. Okay, so I just need to put down the EKG and attach that to my patient. And then we've got to check the computer again. And we've just got to attach a saline IV. There we go. Okay, let's check the computer. Okay, we need some IV pain med. I can grab this from Quickseas. It'll only take a couple seconds. So the IV pain med is being dispensed. And now I can give it. Okay, so now I just wait for the patient to wake up. So I'm just going to stand at her side and she's just going to answer some basic questions just to make sure that she knows who she is and where she is. Okay, so now you can see the speech bubbles. That's just my patient talking back to me. Okay, so I'm assessing the pain levels and checking the bandage just to make sure everything's good. Okay, now we have the main vitals list. This time I've got to do all three, which means there won't just be temperature, but there'll be heart rate and the blood pressure as well. Alright, I just need to grab the blood pressure. Now this is the most annoying part of the process because I've had issues where I've only gotten halfway and I've accidentally put it down. But we've got it now and we've just attached it. Thank goodness for that. So her numbers are in green. That means that, you know, it went well. Surgery was a success. So let's have a little look at the computer. Lovely. So it says I gotta go to the patient's side and she's feeling nauseous, so we gotta check the computer again just to see what medication she needs. So she needs some antiemetic. Okay, and now we can just give that to her. Hopefully she'll feel better. And now we need to open the computer and chart in notes. I don't think I actually clicked the notes, but I'll still do it anyway. Okay, so we're down to our last piece, so we don't have to do anything else. We just need to wait for a nurse to transfer the patient. Should be any minute now. There we go. Alright, so now she's off to recovery. and I'd say that surgery was a huge success. That is the whole process of a surgery. I would have done another one, but if I did, this video would be about 20 minutes long, and I don't want to bore you guys with all the extra details. So I just want to give my appreciation, and I want to say thank you for watching my video and for subscribing to my channel. Please keep updated for more content.